Big Bodega had it going. Jordan Clarkson showed it for a bit. Bridges started getting rolling in the second half. OG Anunoby doing OG Anunoby things, all while everyone doing all this while Brunson had a little bit of an off night.
Yeah, which was good. The game kind of went the way I expected it to go, especially on the second night of a back-to-back. And the Knicks had last year. The Knicks had the worst differential in the league when it compared to games, a record with games with days of rest versus the back-to-backs. They were 6-8 on back-to-back nights. And so I was curious to see how they were going to come out, being that this was going to be their first one. You could tell they were kind of sluggish, a little bit lethargic, didn't really get their sea legs, but as was expected, second half was when they were going to turn up. And that's exactly what they did. But let's give credit where credit is due. First and foremost, the big bodega, Karl-Anthony Towns, the player of the game, 33 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, an efficient night shooting, 12 of 24, 6 of 7 from the charity stripe, and 2 steals. I don't know what was more impressive for you, but for me, it was just more so just seeing him be aggressive and seeing who was in front of him. Because look, no offense to Alex Hart, he's having a good second-year campaign, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. But size-wise, he can't check the big bodega. So what you wanted to see was Karl-Anthony Towns seeing that and just going ahead and dominating that matchup. And given that the Wizards were paying so much attention to Jalen Brunson, they talked about it on the broadcast as well. Brunson's gravity allowed Karl-Anthony Towns to really just be out there kind of on the island at times with just Alex Hart. I'm just like, wow, this is kind of amazing because Karl-Anthony Towns could really just have his way out there, and he took advantage of it.
For sure, and that's what you want to see from Towns, right? In a matchup that is favorable to him, he's able to take advantage of it. And look, I think the good thing about tonight's game for Towns is, of course, you mentioned the numbers. Look, he had 33 points, went 12 of 24 from the field, got 13 boards, another strong double-double, got his 5 assists, 2 steals as well. Good night for Karl-Anthony Towns. Look, for me, it's a get-right game for him to hopefully get back on track. We know about the quad injury. Talk about building some confidence, get an easy matchup, right? As you said, no disrespect to Alex Sarr, young guy in the league, won't be able to, go to toe with Karl-Anthony Towns. But this is a good opportunity for Towns, who has been struggling a little bit to start the season, get into a real rhythm right here. And to build off of what Towns is doing right now, you hope that he can continue this forward. But the other thing that I look from this game as well is not only Towns being involved, right? I think it's great to see Karl-Anthony Towns show who he is, especially when you got a tough matchup against the Minnesota Timberwolves next. So it's a good game for him to get back on track. But what I really like from this CP is that with Brunson having an off night, that everyone was involved, and it's just a good way to build chemistry because, look, Brunson's that dude where even though he didn't have it going tonight, if you gave him more opportunities than he had tonight, he could certainly go get cooking, Yep. But the fact that he's trusting his teammates to get busy and get their own shots, it's a good way to build chemistry moving forward so that way no one feels left out of what this offense is meant to be. So I thought it was a good night for someone like, especially, like I said, Karl-Anthony Towns, because we saw Bridges have his nights. We saw Josh Hart get a good bounce-back game yesterday. OG's been having a strong start to the season. To finally have Karl-Anthony Towns get a really good game, and I know it's against the Wizards, a team that's, we got their lot, we want to make sure that we can get their lottery pick. I know you're rooting for them, CP. I know you're rooting for them. But hey, it's good to see Karl-Anthony Towns go out there and do the damn thing tonight.
Yeah, good to see the bodega dominating. But as you said, on a night where Cap really didn't have it, and the night before was his night tonight, 6 of 17 from the field wasn't his night from a shooting efficiency standpoint. Everybody else had it. 7 Knicks in double figures. He had OG with 16. Mikal Bridges, a quiet 10, but an impactful 10. He shot 50% from the field, 53% for OG. Both of those guys were efficient from 3. Landry Shamet started in Mitchell Robinson's absence. No Mitchell Robinson on the second night of back-to-backs. 11 points for Shamet. And then, again, the bench unit with Hart. But Clarkson, 15 points. Hart, a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds, and they're getting it in a multitude of ways. And like you said, yes, it's the Wizards, but it's a good opportunity to just continue getting into a good rhythm offensively, and that's what we're seeing from them. The ball movement is once again on point. 32 assists for the Knicks. And you're getting to see some of that chemistry offensively, man. And guys are getting into a good flow, especially Jordan Clarkson. That's 15 cardiac Clarkson.
Talk about my guy.
He's swagging out right now. You could tell he's definitely in his bag, taking his time. He's making good decisions with the rock. The energy's finding him. They're coming back to him, and he's rewarding those guys for finding him. So that's one side. But then on the other side, I'm continuing to love the defense, the offense. The dog and Mikal Bridges once again forcing the issue, forcing turnovers. Knicks forced 20 Wizards turnovers and scored 21 points off of that. So good job by them just being opportunistic. You had 5 steals for OG, 3 for Bridges, 2 for Karl-Anthony Towns, 1 for Captain Clutch, Jalen Brunson, 1 for McBride. So that was 12 steals by the Knicks tonight. And then 2 blocks by Mikal Bridges, 1 by Shamet. So a good job, again, just being aggressive and turning that into offense, especially in the first half when the shots weren't falling.
Yeah, man. I love the defense to offense, energy, because that was the big thing that we were questioning, well, at least me, I'll speak for myself. I was questioning the defense, considering that this Mike Brown team has, or Mike Brown in general has led teams that have had porous defenses, right? Especially looking more recently at the Sacramento Kings. So I'm happy to see that we're watching OG and Bridges really thrive in this. You mentioned Jordan Clarkson. It seems like everyone's really buying into what he's saying for defensive purposes. And it's not like they're a crazy stalwart defensive team. I mean, they allowed the Wizards to get over 100 points tonight, right? But the thing that you want to see is being, as you said, the right word, opportunistic, right? Taking advantage of what I'll say, taking is just finding the right opportunities to be an impactful defensive team. Yeah. You're not always going to get every single stop, in every single game. But if you can do what OG did in the third or fourth quarter, where he just gets that steal and gets that dunk out in transition, right, and just know how to read the player's eyes and understand what their tendencies are, being able to make plays like that can be backbreaking. And sometimes that's all you need. You need to have 1, 2, 3 backbreaking plays defensively to make the opponent start to get into their own heads and be like, oh, man, now we got to work twice as hard. We really got to come back down here, make the most of these possessions. So I love that the way that they're playing defense right now. I know it's the Wizards. Once again, I get that. But you want to see that foundation, once again, that Mike Brown is trying to build, come to fruition, even against the lesser opponents.
Yeah, I agree with you. And OG, man, he wants those Tims tonight. He wants the construction again. The Tims tonight. Let me know when that picture comes out and send me some stuff from
Jordan
Twitter.
Clarkson, are you going to compete, man? What's going on over here? Mikal Bridges, he hasn't got one yet. What's happening?
Yeah, send me some stuff from Twitter once you see it. But, man, OG, his anticipation skills is second to none. He's a gambler, but it pays off 9 times out of 10 for him. And he was just sensational, man. 5 steals tonight for the dog. Had some nice finishes.
Oh, and interesting.
What, they went somewhere else?
It went somewhere else tonight for Defensive Player of the Game
Hang
tonight.
on. Send me the joint. Send me the joint, man. Let me put it up on the Jumbotron. So to everybody in the chat,
go.
Hit the like button, the share button, subscribe to the channel.
Here we go. Look at this one.
Yeah,
Look at this
send
one.
that in here. Hang on.
Just sent it to you.
Uh-oh. Wait a second. In a stunning turn of events, the new reigning defensive player of the game is none other than Josh Hart, ladies and gentlemen. Woo-hoo! Josh Hart gets the Tims tonight. And, great job, man. Shout out to Hart. Josh Hart gets the Tims tonight, man. Hey. He was working. It's not to say that. He was working.
Bullying tonight.
He was working out there tonight.
He was bullying guys tonight, man. You love to, and look, after all the heat he was getting when he just returned 2 nights. Let's talk about Josh Hart tonight, man, because guess what he had?
Yeah.
He's back in his bag, CP. He got a triple-double. Wait, never mind.
Double-double.
Double-double.
Those are the ESPN stats. It's confusing now, right? They switched it up on us.
You see, you know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, they pulled the foot trick on us.
Yeah, they did, man.
Yeah.
Damn. Come on, man. ESPN, be better.
Hey, still a double-double. And that unit with him, Deuce, Clarkson, was that Bridges and Cat? That was a good unit right there.
That was a really good unit. But getting a double-double, 12 points, 10 boards, looking like himself. And come on, CP, 5 of 7 from the field. The efficiency. Yo, he was really threading the needle with those layups tonight, man.
Yeah, it was.
Really threading the needle. And on top of that, he went 50% from downtown. 2 of 4 from 3, man.
Yeah.
Finger be damned. He said, I can still shoot.
Took 4 threes again tonight. Last night, he knocked down 1. Tonight, he knocked down 2. So, good job by Josh. And good job by the coach rewarding him. I don't think that was by accident, even though he earned it. You could say he earned it because easily you could have went with OG with the defense. I think that was by design, by the coach. As he continues to, I think he saw what was going on. He saw the frustration going on. He's trying to, make sure that everybody's locked in. And I thought that was a good job by the coach.
Hey, I think the biggest thing we see is like on every given night, like we got to figure out who's going to be the chef and cook and who's going to everybody else take a seat at the table. And I think the biggest thing that they did tonight was, they let Towns cook. And even though Brunson wasn't having a good shooting game, he was serving the dishes out to everybody and getting everybody else involved and making an impact that way. So I think, if they can figure out every night, who's going to be the one to cook, I think that's going to be a huge thing in keeping everybody's confidence up and not trying to force it and not trying to keep, trying to force shots and, make the points when you can, spread the wealth around. And I think that's what they did very well tonight was they spread the wealth around and got Clarkson involved, got everybody else involved. And if you look at the plus and minus, there was only 2 guys on the team that was actually playing that was in the negative. So, I mean, everybody had an impact on this game somewhere or another. And I think if we could start doing this on a consistent basis, it's going to be really, really hard to beat us. And especially because, like I said it yesterday, if they play good on offense and they're taking good shots, it's going to translate into the defensive side. And it showed it again tonight where they played really good defense. Yeah,
good energy defensively. And for the offense, that is the intention. That is the intention of the offense is to be equal opportunity and to get different guys involved. You have the actions coming out of the slot, whether it's Mikal or whether it's JB, kind of forcing the issue. Those are your primary ball handlers with the unit. And, they're making those reads. We had Shax on the show last week, and as he said, it's really not that many plays. It's more, making those reads, seeing how you can make the defense bend, and playing off of each other. That's what Mike Brown wants. That is the read and react style that he's looking for. And so far, even just conceptually, even though they've been taking their time to get into, build their chemistry, and sometimes the shots haven't been falling, especially as it relates to the beginning of the year, starting to drop now, and the assists are starting to pile up. And you could see it on the court. You're seeing some results here on the court just in terms of their execution. Looking good.
Hey, CP, real quick. I was going to say this to Alex. I said it a couple of times when I was on phone with him and CK. The Pound sniper wasn't too bad tonight. I think he stayed off the floor a lot better tonight than he did at most other games.
You said the Town sniper?
Yeah, I mean, I told Alex and CK, man, I don't know how many times Towns plays in a game and he drops to the ground every time he drives to the basket. I said there's a sniper in the stands and takes him out every time he drives.
Yeah. Well, tonight, man, he didn't hit the floor because I think the guy guarding him really couldn't body him up like that. You know what I mean? No. But good job by Towns all the way around, man. He dominated, and just a good job by him just understanding that this is an undersized guy on you. So, but I feel like Towns started the game with that pick and pop 3 from Mikal Bridges and really never looked back.
Yeah, I think this was the best game they used him in a while.
Yes.
To show what he can actually do for the offense.
And then how about he still had 5 assists in this one.
Yeah.
And out of that pinch post, that one memorable play where he hit that wraparound pass to Deuce, and Deuce drove and caught OG cutting. And that's another thing, too, Al. The cutting has been on point the entire season. They're up there in the league in points per possession off of cuts as well. And we're seeing that through the offense.
Yeah.